Shalom, shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halal La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Machakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well within this ministry and taught us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. It's about Shamariam, and Lord wanted this to be an edifying lesson. All right, I'm gonna jump straight into it. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right, and what did the Lord tell Esdras? The Lord told Esdras to mortify, all right, those carnal thoughts, to mortify those to cast away those mortal thoughts, cast off those mortal thoughts in the weak nature. All right, and to matter of fact, let me grab it real quick. This is Second Esdras chapter 14, verse 14. It says, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature." And that's what we got to do in order to be circumspect. All right, in order to be circumspect, meaning to look around, and when you're looking around, that means you're aware. All right, you're on guard, you're watchful, you're prepared. Okay, so with that being said, in order for you to be circumspect, watchful, prepared, and aware, you got to cast off the mortal thoughts, because those mortal thoughts will cloud your judgment. Those mortal thoughts will bug you out, man. It'll cloud your judgment. It'll bug you out. It'll distract you from the mission at hand, to where you can't be as circumspect and as keen as you desire to be, or as you should be, man. All right, you got to cast off and put away the burdens of men, so that you be distracted with the cares and affairs of this life. Which all the burdens is burdens of this world, these curses that we go through, being in captivity, which are soon going to be a thing of the past, man. You know? So all of these things we got to cast away, the weak nature, the flesh, and the temptations and the urges and the pleasures of the flesh. All these things we have to cast away so that we could be circumspect. All right? Because if how you going to be circumspect when you clouded with all the burdens? You got all these burdens on you, and it's clouding your mind. All right, how you gonna be circumspect when you got mortal thoughts distracting you, pulling you every which way? All right, and you got that weak nature taking a hold of you. You're not gonna be circumspect, man. All right. So that means that those evil days that we're supposed to be redeeming the evil days. That means those evil days are gonna get you. They're going to trap you, man. You're going to get consumed in those evil times. All right? It says, verse 15, "And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." Right? Because it's a lot of shit that come with, it's a lot of shit that come with heavy loads in Babylon, man. All right? Just this life in Babylon alone, it's a lot of heavy loads that come on the mind, you know. So all of these things we have to cast away, in which the washing of the word helps us do that. The more we indulge in the spirit, it helps us do that, you know. So that's why it's important to do that. But yeah, setting aside the thoughts that are most heavy into thee, because Babylon can press down on you. All right, Babylon can overwhelm you, and it can send you to a point where you're overwhelmed and you're reaching a breaking point or boiling point, so to speak. But once you cast off all of these things, man, you find more peace. And that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is here for. That's what this truth is here for. The Comforter is here for, to give us peace and clarity and equilibrium, man. All right, while we're still here in this captivity. So it says, haste to flee from these times, man. Okay, and now we're doing that spiritually. We're doing that spiritually by indulging ourselves in the work of the Lord and fighting back spiritually by righteousness, by using righteousness, man. Okay. In verse 16, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So greater evils is about to come upon the earth, man. And the Lord was speaking to Esdras during this time. All right, look how much the wickedness and evils have increased. Even then, now we in the green tree right now, it's still more to come. It's still more wickedness that has to be increased for that iniquity to abound in the love of many waxing cold. This is just the beginning of sorrows. So it has to get worse, man. And in order for you to endure to the end through it being worse, these are the things we have to cast off. Going back to for Ephesians 5, these are the things you have to cast off so that you could walk circumspectly and not as a fool. All right? Because if you letting those mortal thoughts, that weak nature, cast you down, then now you're gonna walk as a fool. All right, you're not gonna walk circumspect. You're gonna walk as a fool, and those evil days are gonna overtake you, because you're not gonna be redeeming. You're not gonna be counting the days, man. All right, you're not going to, because you gotta be circumspect to redeem the time, to be a watchman, to know what time you're living in and to move according to it. All right. It says, verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And that's what we do. We're measuring the days. All right, because the days are evil. The times are coming to where Jacob's trouble, and the Lord is about to unleash judgment at an all-time high. Things are about to get worse. All right, so we got to be 10 times more circumspect than ever. And if you got all of this other shit going on, and you letting it get to you, letting it bring you down, you already lost, man. You already losing. Verse 17, it says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And in order to understand what the will of the Lord is, you need discretion. All right? And that's a spiritual gift from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. All right, of wisdom. That's a spiritual skill that is equipped when you get wisdom. It's discretion and having that discernment. So in order for you to know what the will of the Lord is, to please him, you need that discretion. So pray to the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, for more discernment, more discretion, more wisdom, more knowledge. All right, so that you can understand what the will of the Lord is to please him. Matter of fact, this is Proverbs chapter 2. And verse 11. Proverbs 2 and 11. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. All right, what is it going to preserve us from? It's going to preserve us from the evil. It's going to preserve us from the snares and traps of Esau, Edom. The snares and traps of 2/3 are going to lay. The snares and traps these spiritual demons and Satan try to lay. That's what the understanding and discretion is going to keep you from, man. All right, and it's going to preserve you so that you could be delivered from the wiles and trickeries of this devil, because there's traps all throughout Babylon, man. All right, there's traps all throughout Babylon to try to get you to transgress Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. But that discretion, all right, is that spiritual power, that spiritual ability that comes with wisdom that'll keep you from it. All right, to the point where you don't need to you don't need the hardcore evidence and proof, or you don't need to see it to believe it. All right, you could just feel it and know, nope, then get the fuck on, man. All right. See, Proverbs. bear with me about sure. This is Proverbs 19 and 11. It says, the discretion of a man deferred, the discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. So that's another thing. All right, discretion, it helps you pass over transgressions, you know, as we just read in Proverbs 2 and 11. And it's a glory unto you when you overcome transgressions, because you get the victory. You get more victories, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more victories over the flesh in the spirit. And that's what that discretion helps you do. It helps defer your anger. All right. It gives you discipline over your anger, which we know the scriptures say that a man who is able to control his anger is better than a man who taketh the city. So to be able to have control over your anger and self-discipline and all of these things, it all deprives from, not deprives, but it can all be practiced and controlled within discretion, man. It says discretion, the ability to perceive and understand, moral discernment, ability to distinguish. It says the ability to distinguish right from wrong, prudence. All right. And that's a spiritual gift, because right now Esau, Edom, he has made a society to where good is evil and evil is good, and everything is confused and the lines are blurred. So the people are now putting good for evil and evil for good, and they think this is the way it's supposed to be. All right. So now that we have this wisdom and knowledge, it has given us the discretion, and the discretion has given us the ability to perceive and distinguish right from wrong. All right. And now we can give ourselves unto what's right to please Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And now we can reject what's wrong to please Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and to get the victory. So once again, the discretion of a man deferreth his anger, right? My ability to perceive what's right and wrong is going to help me to be able to control my actions, to do what's right and what's wrong. And that's another thing. You got to have the discipline with the discretion. The discipline has to be with the discretion, because you can have the ability to perceive, okay, this is right and this is wrong, and you can still give yourself over to what's wrong because of lack of discipline. It's the discipline. Pray for the discipline with the discernment. Pray for the discipline with the discretion, so that you could be whole and you could apply these things in its entirety. Okay? And that's what real wisdom is. Applying your discipline with the discretion, which is all, it's in the understanding, man. Real quick, this is Psalms, and I'm going to close out with this. And these are the things we need to be circumspect, man. These are all the things we need to be circumspect. You got to know all brothers ain't brothers. So you got to move a certain way when you're around certain men. You got to know, you just got to know, man. It goes without saying, bro. You just got to know and have that discernment of what's right and what's wrong, man. You know, certain people, you can read certain people and tell if they're right or if they're wrong. If they spirit right, if they're wrong, and you know, I'm going to stop fucking with them, or he cool to hang around and be with him, or I could feed this person. This person could be fed with the truth, and this could be a potential sheep, or this nigga a scoffer, or this, you know, just different scenarios to further drive home the point, man. All right, of being circumspect and not putting yourself in situations, all right, where it's going to bring shame to you or the body. So, Lord, one has been an edifying lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, Salakia. Let me grab the closer real quick. Psalms 112. In Psalms 112 and verse 5, a good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. All right. So we all striving to be, we're all striving to be goodly, man, godly, so to speak. And so we gotta guide every affair with discretion, with the ability to perceive what's right and wrong, and the discernment to give yourself to what's right. All right. And that's what we all should be doing. And when you do these things, all right, then you prosper in being circumspect. You prosper in being circumspect so that you can be redeemed and saved and preserved from the evil times. All right. So Lord willing, has been edifying. Shalom, shalom. On to the next one.